This episode, we're looking at some truly terrifying armed robbery footage to come out of Los Angeles, California. Our first video takes place in a downtown Los Angeles apartment complex when a crew of thieves robbed a pair of men waiting for their elevator. At the start of the video, you can see the suspects pull into the garage in a black Volkswagen. Two armed thieves hop out of the vehicle. The man in the front passenger seat shows his face on camera for a brief second before covering it with the blue mask. And the second thief, wearing a red mask, exits from the passenger side rear. We then see two building residents enter the garage lobby area, waiting for the elevator, when suddenly, the thieves come charging in, guns drawn. The first victim drops a pair of sneakers and gets down on his knees, showing the thieves he's not going to put up a fight. The thieves then rifle through the pockets of the two men and steal their jewelry, phones, and keys. Following the robbery, the two armed suspects run out of the lobby. One suspect gets back into the Volkswagen, and the other suspect drives off in the victim's vehicle. Police eventually caught two of the three suspects involved in the robbery. 31-year-old Jamar Stewart, who was the driver of the black Volkswagen, and 18-year-old Kenneth Bonds, who was the robber wearing the red ski mask. The third man in the blue mask and hoodie, who ironically was the only one to clearly show his face on camera, has still not been identified or caught. Our second video takes place in the popular Melrose shopping district of Los Angeles. At the start of the video, you can see a black Volvo pull into an alleyway and two men in hoodies exit the car. Then, from security footage from inside a store looking out onto the street, you can see the victim in a white t-shirt and black pants sprinting away from the gunman in the white hoodie. Moments earlier, off camera, the victim was standing in front of the clothing store, Gentry Garb, when he saw the two thieves staring at his Rolex watch. The victim ran inside the store towards the back room, and the suspects followed the victim and fired 6 rounds at him. But thankfully, the victim was not struck by the gunfire. The thieves then sprinted back to their car and took off. Police did eventually arrest one of the suspects, 31-year-old Jamario Ray, who was the gunman in the white hoodie. Jamario Ray was on parole for assault with a deadly weapon and had a warrant out for a parole violation. After the incident, Ray was booked for attempted murder, and the bail was set at $1 million. The second man in the blue hoodie is still unknown to authorities who are currently looking for him. Our next video takes place in the elite Hancock Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, when a woman is ambushed in broad daylight by two armed robbers while she was walking her baby. The surveillance video comes right from the woman's home. The female victim and her infant child were returning home from a walk. As they approached the steps leading to the front door of their home, the two thieves approached them and demanded that she hand over her property. Fearing for her and her child's safety, the victim complied and allowed the robbers to take her diaper bags and bottle cooler. The two men then proceeded to run into a waiting vehicle that was parked across the street from the victim's home. The woman then gets the baby out of the stroller, looks back to the fleeing men, and heads to the front door. The suspects still have not been identified, and no arrests have been made. Our last video also comes from the popular Melrose shopping district of Los Angeles. At the start of the video, we can see a black SUV stalled in the middle of the road, with its doors and trunk open, with several people rummaging through the car. The car was actually being driven by a pair of thieves who were grabbing their belongings and abandoning the vehicle. Right before the video starts, the two thieves had just attempted to rob a group of people. They drove up next to a white Audi, pointed a handgun at the victims, and demanded they pull over and give them their property. The victim in the Audi tried to drive away, but was stuck in traffic. The suspect driver then followed the victim, but crashed into the Audi, causing a 4-car pileup. And in this video here, we can see the aftermath with the attempted thieves running from the scene. Police eventually located one of the criminals involved, 23-year-old Cyree Jamal Carter. Carter was arrested for attempted robbery, 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, and the second criminal involved still has not been caught or identified by police. And that wraps up our episode today with the craziest armed robbery footage coming out of Los Angeles, California. Stay tuned for next episode when we look at other insane footage of the craziest scammers and robbers caught on camera.